Everyone gets told the same bedtime story about the US economy, a tale of innovation and endless opportunity. We're here to tear out those pages. We've compiled 49 facts that serve as hard evidence of what it really is, a high-stakes circus of baffling contradictions. From the sheer cost of being alive to the industries built on our bad habits, these aren't just stats. They're the absurd rules of the game you're forced to play every day. 1. In the grand global competition of healthcare, the United States isn't just on the podium. It owns the entire stadium. The nation holds the undisputed heavyweight title for the highest healthcare spending per capita. It's a contest nobody wants to win, yet America defends its championship belt every single year with spectacular dedication. We're talking about a system where a single ambulance ride can cost more than a vacation to Europe, and a routine checkup feels like you're funding a small-scale space program. It seems the American dream now comes with a very detailed and very expensive medical invoice. 2. The U.S. transportation industry is a $1.5 trillion juggernaut, a colossal beast of asphalt, steel, and logistics. Yet, for all its economic might, it delivers a uniquely American form of suffering: the traffic jam. The average citizen sacrifices 54 hours of their finite existence each year to the god of gridlock, staring at the bumper of the car ahead. That's a national subscription to a purgatory on wheels, equivalent to watching the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy 5 times over. It's the perfect paradox. An industry designed to move people that is masterfully efficient at keeping them perfectly still. 3. You'd think the modern American economy is forged exclusively in the fires of Silicon Valley, built by tech gods in hoodies. But you'd be spectacularly wrong. Before you can even code an app, you have to eat. Agriculture, the original OG industry, plows a massive $1.4 trillion into the US economy. That's right. The folks in flannel shirts and muddy boots are running an economic empire that rivals the digital one. It's a fantastic reality check that while software might run our phones, it's soil, sweat, and tractors that prevent the entire system from collapsing from hunger. 4. The American love affair with the automobile is a legendary romance, a roaring saga worth $545 billion. We build them, we buy them, we practically live in them. Yet, there's a strange twist in this modern chapter. As of 2023, for all the virtue signaling and sleek commercials about saving the planet, electric cars accounted for a mere 6% of new vehicle sales. It appears that while the future is silent, electric, and polite, the vast majority of Americans still prefer their transportation to be loud, unapologetic, and smelling faintly of gasoline. The revolution, it seems, is still stuck in first gear. 5. Let's talk about the one financial product we all need, but never want to use. Over half of American adults are card-carrying members of the Life Insurance Club. This isn't just a quaint safety net. It's a multi-trillion-dollar industry built on a rather morbid premise, placing a calculated bet on the timing of your own grand exit. It's the country's biggest, quietest, and most responsible gambling ring. You pay a premium, hoping you lose the bet for as long as possible. It's a fascinating, if slightly grim pillar of the economy where the ultimate payout is triggered by the ultimate inconvenience. 6. If you've ever suspected the government is an omnipresent force, here's the data to prove you right. An absolutely mind-boggling 22 million Americans work for federal, state, and local governments. That's not a workforce. That's a nation-state. This army of public servants is larger than the entire population of Florida. They are the people who run the schools, pave the roads, and create the forms you need to fill out in triplicate to complain about the roads. It's a powerful reminder that, in America, one of the biggest and most stable career paths is, ironically, bureaucracy itself. 7. Americans have a deep, profound, and financially ruinous love for their pets. How ruinous? Try $240 billion a year. That's more than the entire economic output of New Zealand. This isn't just a bag of kibble and a chew toy. We're in an era of canine psychologists, feline acupuncture, designer pet wear, and organic, gluten-free treats that cost more per pound than prime steak. It's an economic marvel proving that in the American household, the one with the fur and 4 legs holds all the real power and a significant portion of the disposable income. 8. Who is the biggest boss in America? It's not a tech billionaire or a retail mogul. The largest single employer in the United States is the federal government, commanding a civilian workforce of over 2.8 million people. Uncle Sam doesn't just want you for the army. He wants you to process paperwork, manage regulations, and enforce the laws. It's an employment empire so vast, it makes multinational corporations look like small family businesses. The government isn't just a set of rules, it's a career destination for millions. 9. While Silicon Valley gets the glory, the real engine of the American economy runs on diesel and determination. The country is home to 3.5 million truck drivers, the unsung heroes who form the circulatory system of commerce. These men and women haul more than 10 billion tons of freight annually, a weight equivalent to over 27,000 Empire State Buildings. They are the ghosts in the machine, living a life of long highways and lonely nights to ensure your Amazon package arrives on time. Without them, America's economy would slam its brakes so hard the entire country would get whiplash. 10. In an age of digital everything, agriculture remains a stubborn, dirt-under-the-fingernails titan of the American economy. The U.S. is the undisputed global king of corn, soybeans, and beef production. We don't just grow these things, we produce them on a scale that borders on the absurd. So, the next time you're grilling a steak or eating a hot dog, remember what you're really doing. You're not just having a meal, you are participating in an act of pure, unadulterated, and delicious economic dominance. It's patriotism you can taste. 11. Trying to comprehend the sheer size of the U.S. economy by comparing it to other countries is like trying to measure a whale with a ruler. So let's use a different scale. If the American economy were a celestial body, it wouldn't just be a planet. It would be a financial black hole. Its gravitational pull is so immense that it sucks in global investment, talent, and cheap consumer goods, while its mood swings, known as recessions, can cause tidal waves on the other side of the world. It's less an economy and more a force of nature. 12. If you emptied every pocket, raided every bank account, and sold every single thing owned by every household in America, you'd be sitting on a pile of cash worth $155 trillion. That number, 155 with 12 zeros, is so obscene it feels like a typo. It's a sum of money that could fund the entire US government for over 25 years. Of course, for the average person, this figure is purely a spectator sport, a bit like knowing the weight of the sun. It's impressive, but it doesn't really help you pay your electric bill this month. 13. When it comes to military spending, the United States doesn't believe in moderation. The 2024 defense budget clocked in at a casual $83 billion. To call this a lot is an insult to the concept of a lot. It's more than the military budgets of the next 10 countries combined. It's the kind of money that suggests the Pentagon isn't just planning for earthly conflicts, but is also preparing for a potential hostile takeover by a fleet of intergalactic warships. America doesn't just bring a gun to a knife fight, it brings a fully operational Death Star. 14. The United States is a nation of consumers with a truly global appetite. Every year, the country goes on an international shopping spree, importing over $3.8 trillion worth of goods. What's the top item on this planet-sized shopping list? Electronics. A shocking, I know. We have a bottomless hunger for smartphones, laptops, smartwatches, and giant TVs. We are a people powered by lithium-ion batteries and fueled by the soft, hypnotic glow of a screen. It's no longer the American dream, it's the American stream. 15. Deep within the halls of economic power sits the Federal Reserve, an institution with more influence over your wallet than you'll ever have. The Fed, as it's known, is the high priesthood of money. They control interest rates, print cash, and fight inflation with the financial equivalent of dark magic. The Fed chairman is essentially an unelected wizard who can cast spells that make your mortgage cheaper or your credit card debt terrifyingly expensive. They don't just guide the economy, they manipulate its very reality, and the rest of us just have to live with the consequences. 16. Let's take a moment to appreciate not living through the Great Depression, when the U.S. unemployment rate peaked at a nightmarish 24.9%. A full quarter of the workforce was out on the street. Today, we celebrate when the rate dips below 4%. This is our modern definition of a booming economy, a situation where only about 6 million people can't find a job. It's a stark reminder that our perception of prosperity has been adjusted for inflation and for significantly lower expectations. Progress, I suppose. 17. If you're tired of human interaction and dream of a cubicle with a glacier view, then Alaska is calling your name. The last frontier consistently has one of the highest job vacancy rates in the nation, largely because it's remote, cold, and a place where your closest neighbor might be a grizzly bear with boundary issues. They are practically begging for people to fill roles. It's the perfect career opportunity for those who find the desolate, frozen wilderness less intimidating than another pointless team-building exercise. 18. The United States doesn't just have airports. It has an almost pathological obsession with them, boasting more than 5,000 public-use airports alone, wildly more than any other nation. This massive network ensures that no matter where you are, you're probably not too far from a place where you can pay $12 for a bottle of water and have your flight delayed. So next time you're stranded, remember the American promise. There's always another airport, offering a fresh new opportunity for travel-related disappointment. 19. For anyone who still thinks it's a punchline from a sitcom, the U.S. Space Force is 100% real and operates with a budget of nearly $30 billion for fiscal year 2024. While our roads crumble and bridges groan, we're spending a fortune to prepare for orbital combat and to protect our assets in space. It's a bold economic vision. Ignore the potholes on Earth to secure the high ground in a galaxy far, far away. Your tax dollars are hard at work, defending against threats you didn't even know you were supposed to be terrified of. 20. The American dream is traditionally sold with a deed to a house and a patch of grass to call your own. About 66% of households are living that dream, more or less. But as home prices soar into orbit, a new, more pragmatic dream is emerging. Finding a landlord who won't raise your rent by 30% just because they can. Home ownership remains the ultimate prize, but for millions the game is increasingly rigged, turning the dream into a spectator sport enjoyed from a very expensive rental. 21. The United States is a nation of over 300 million smartphone users, meaning roughly 9 out of 10 people are walking around with a powerful supercomputer in their pocket. We use them for everything except, it seems, calling people. These devices have become our external brains, our social lifelines, and our primary source of anxiety. It's no longer just an economic market. It's a massive, ongoing social experiment to see if an entire population can function while staring perpetually downward. The results are still pending. 22. Our collective screen addiction has a fascinating economic upside. The tech sector is responsible for over 10% of the U.S. economy. Every time you doom scroll through social media, binge watch another series, or argue with a bot in the comments, you are a vital cog in this multi-trillion-dollar machine. So don't let anyone tell you you're wasting your life online. You are a digital patriot, tirelessly clicking and swiping to keep the nation's GDP afloat. Your service is appreciated. 23. America is home to around 4,000 degree-granting colleges and universities, creating an academic marketplace of unparalleled choice. You can get a world-class education or a six-figure degree in a field with absolutely zero job prospects. It's a brilliant economic model built on selling ambition, which is then financed by a student loan industry that ensures you'll be paying for that ambition for the next 30 years. It's the only product you buy for a fortune without ever being told if it actually works. 24. That ad that just interrupted your video? It wasn't cheap. U.S. companies are now spending well over $300 billion a year on digital advertising. It's a financial war for your eyeballs, a relentless, data-driven campaign to analyze your every click and predict your every desire. You're not just browsing the web. You are the product being sold in a massive, invisible auction happening billions of times a day. And the price of admission is your ever-dwindling attention span. 25. If you want to witness the massive gap in the American economy firsthand, just look at salaries. The tech sector casually pays average wages well over $100,000 a year, while millions of other essential jobs barely pay a living wage. It's created a new kind of economic caste system. The people who code the apps, and the people who deliver the food the coders ordered on those apps. So, yes, you should probably learn to code, if only to afford the world the coders are building. 26. Amazon's delivery logistics have reached a point of genuine absurdity. The company now delivers nearly 5 billion packages a year in the US alone. That isn't enough to stretch to the moon. It's enough to give every single person in the United States about 15 boxes a year. We've outsourced our shopping, our errands, and our patience to a fleet of vans that have become a permanent feature of every neighborhood. We are slowly but surely burying ourselves under a mountain of branded cardboard. 27. The average American worker is an engine of incredible efficiency, generating about $175,000 in economic value each year. You are, in economic terms, a high-performance machine. The catch, of course, is that you don't get to keep most of the value you create. That gets funneled upwards. It's a fascinating arrangement where you produce at the level of a fine European sports car, but get compensated at the level of its floor mats. But hey, at least you're productive. 28. Americans are champions of the work-life imbalance. The average US worker puts in over 1,800 hours a year, crushing the 1,350-hour average in a place like Germany. We've won the international competition that nobody wanted to be in, the Grind Olympics. We work more, take fewer vacations, and retire later. It's a culture that fetishizes busyness as a virtue, ensuring that we are all too exhausted to question why we are all so exhausted in the first place. 29. Thinking of starting a family? First, check your bank account. The average cost of full-time daycare in the US hovers around $11,000 a year, and it's dramatically higher in many cities. You are essentially paying Ivy League tuition for a toddler whose main curriculum consists of advanced napping and applied finger painting. It's a staggering financial burden that forces many parents to ask if a second income is even worth it after childcare costs. It's the economy's way of saying, "Are you sure you want kids?" 30. In 2024, the average monthly payment for a new car in America is about $735. For that price, you're not just buying a vehicle. You're subscribing to a luxury depreciating asset. It's a monthly fee nearly equivalent to renting a small apartment in some parts of the country, only your car can't hold all your stuff and has terrible resale value. It's the high cost of freedom, or at least the freedom to be stuck in traffic in something that smells new. 31. The United States is the world's #1 producer of natural gas, a fact that powers our lights and heats our homes. A huge portion of this energy dominance comes from fracking, the controversial process of blasting water and chemicals deep into the earth. It's a perfect metaphor for the modern economy. We get cheap, abundant energy today in exchange for a few potential environmental side effects down the road. It's a fantastic deal, as long as you don't think about it too hard. 32. What happens when the American dream of owning lots of things collides with the American reality of not having enough space? You create the self-storage industry, a $50 billion a year behemoth. The United States has more self-storage facilities, over 50,000 of them, than all the McDonald's, Wendy's, and Starbucks locations combined. We have perfected the art of paying monthly rent for a windowless concrete box to house the junk we can't bear to part with, but also can't stand to look at. It's the final, beautiful stage of consumerism, a paid subscription service for our past bad decisions. It's not just an industry, it's a multi-billion-dollar monument to our collective inability to let go. 33. The United States doesn't just have billionaires, it cultivates them like a prize-winning crop. In 2024, the nation was home to a staggering 813 of them, more than China, India, and Germany put together. America has turned wealth accumulation into an Olympic sport and is sweeping the gold medals. This isn't just a handful of rich people. It's an entire ecosystem of individuals whose personal fortunes rival the economies of sovereign nations. It's a testament to American capitalism, where the ceiling is apparently in outer space, right next to their rockets. 34. What is the single biggest expense in the colossal US federal budget? It isn't the military or interest on the debt. It's Social Security, accounting for nearly a quarter of all spending. That's right. The nation's largest financial commitment is essentially a massive, government-run subscription service for retirement and disability. It's a multi-trillion-dollar promise made to generations of Americans. So, when you see your grandparents enjoying their retirement, Remember, you're witnessing the most expensive line item in the most powerful country on Earth in action. 35. In the United States, some people are wealthy, and then there's Elon Musk. With a net worth that violently fluctuates between $200 and $250 billion, his personal fortune is larger than the entire GDP of countries like Greece. His wealth doesn't just grow. It has mood swings that can be worth more than the entire market cap of a Fortune 500 company on any given day. It's a level of financial power so extreme that it blurs the line between a citizen and a nation-state with its own private space program. 36. In the land of billionaires and staggering wealth, a darker economic reality persists. Over 38 million Americans, or about 11.5% of the population, live below the poverty line. This is the part of the economic story that doesn't make it into the glossy brochures. It's a brutal reminder that a rising tide does not, in fact, lift all boats. For millions of people, the great American economic pie is something they can only smell from a distance, while a select few are arguing over who gets the largest slice. 37. If you want to find the wealthiest corners of America, follow the money to where power is made and where the future is coded. The top 3 wealthiest metro areas, based on median household income, are clustered around San Jose, San Francisco, and Washington, D.C. It's a perfect illustration of the modern economy. You either work in tech, building the digital cage we all live in, or you work in politics, writing the rules for the cage. Either way, it pays exceptionally well. 38. America doesn't just have a powerful economy, it also has a deep appreciation for things it can put behind glass. The U.S. is home to more than 30,000 museums, which are more than just cultural institutions. They are economic engines contributing over $50 billion to the economy annually. So, the next time you find yourself staring at a dinosaur skeleton or a piece of abstract art, you're not just procrastinating. You are an economic warrior, stimulating growth one thoughtful gaze at a time. It's the most educational form of patriotism. 39. To say the United States has a big economy is a profound understatement. The U.S. alone accounts for roughly 26% of the entire world's economic output, with only about 4% of its population. It's not just a participant in the global economy, it is the gravitational center. When the American economy gets a slight cold, the rest of the world checks into the intensive care unit. It's a level of influence so massive that its domestic policies become international events, whether the rest of the world likes it or not. 40. While New York City may be the symbol of American wealth, it doesn't hold the title for the most obscenely priced real estate. That honor belongs to the San Francisco Bay Area, a place where the median home price means $1 million might get you a charming rustic fixer-upper, which is realtor speak for a dilapidated shack that's about to fall down a hill. But for your $1.6 million investment, you get a lovely view of the fog and the crushing weight of your own mortgage. 41. Debt is the great American pastime, and we are all stars. As of 2024, the average American household is saddled with over $104,000 in total debt. This isn't just one type of debt. It's a carefully curated collection of mortgages, car loans, student loans, and credit card balances. It's the ghost that haunts every kitchen table, the engine of our consumer culture, and the financial ball and chain that keeps the entire system churning. We don't just buy things, we buy them with money we don't have. 42. Over 60% of Americans own stocks, mostly through retirement accounts like 401ks. This technically makes a majority of the population capitalists, tiny shareholders in the great American corporate machine. It's a comforting thought, owning a microscopic slice of Apple or Amazon. However, your ownership stake doesn't get you a vote on the CEO's bonus or a seat in the boardroom. It's the financial equivalent of being a fan of a sports team. You can cheer from the sidelines, but you have absolutely no say in the outcome. 43. Americans spend over $100 billion on lottery tickets every single year. It is a massive, state-sponsored industry built entirely on selling impossible dreams to people who are often desperate. Statistically, you have a better chance of being killed by a vending machine than winning the Powerball jackpot. Yet, we continue to line up for our tickets, making the lottery a wildly successful tax on hope, and a weekly reminder that a dollar in a dream is still one of the most powerful economic forces in the country. 44. The only two certainties in life are death and taxes, and the IRS makes sure you never forget the second one. The agency collects over $4 trillion in taxes each year, a sum of money so vast it's functionally meaningless to the human brain. It's enough to fund a small country's entire existence for a century. This river of cash is what funds everything from aircraft carriers to national parks, all collected by an organization so feared, it makes the boogeyman look like a friendly neighbor. 45. Back in 2017, the U.S. corporate tax rate was slashed from 35% down to 21%, the lowest it had been since the 1930s. This move was celebrated in boardrooms across the country as a massive stimulus, saving corporations billions. For the average American, however, the celebration was a bit more muted. It was a powerful lesson in economic theory. While the benefits of tax cuts for the wealthy are immediate and substantial, the trickle-down effect for everyone else seems to move at the speed of a dying glacier. 46. For all the talk of trillions of dollars and global economic dominance, the financial reality for many Americans is terrifyingly fragile. Roughly 40% of the population doesn't have enough savings to cover an unexpected $400 emergency. A single car repair, a broken appliance, or a medical bill can trigger a full-blown financial crisis. It is a stark portrait of a nation where millions of people are living on a razor's edge, one minor inconvenience away from disaster in the wealthiest country in human history. 47. America's farms are not just feeding the nation. They are feeding the world and getting rich doing it. Agricultural exports pump nearly $200 billion into the U.S. economy annually. The titans of this industry are soybeans, corn, and wheat, a golden trio of grains that are shipped to every corner of the globe. It's a powerful form of soft power, demonstrating that American influence isn't just projected with warships, but also with massive container ships full of food, ensuring the world stays dependent on the American heartland. 48. The United States holds the grim title of having the world's largest prison population, with nearly 2 million people currently behind bars. This isn't just a failure of the justice system, it's also a powerful and profitable economic sector. The prison industrial complex, which includes private prisons, security contractors, and service providers, is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's a chilling economic reality where the system has a vested financial interest in maintaining a massive population of incarcerated individuals. It's big business, and business is good. 49. To truly understand the scale of the U.S. economy, you don't even need to look at the whole country. Just look at Texas. The Lone Star State, on its own, has a GDP larger than that of Canada or Australia. It's an economic superpower masquerading as a single state, fueled by oil, tech, and an unapologetic sense of its own importance. It's a powerful reminder that within the American economic giant, there are other giants just waiting to show off. Everything, it seems, really is bigger in Texas, especially the economy. So there you have it. The American dream, powered by paradox, personal debt, and a $50 billion industry for storing our junk. Now for the real debate. Which economic feature you just heard isn't just weird, but feels like a personal attack on your wallet? Drop your financial battle story below, and if you appreciate honesty over hype, hit that subscribe button. We're just getting started.